Café Anyway. Hello, it's Mike. How are you today?
It's Mike's Daily Podcast.
Thank you, Anki. Hey, I got a free pen from Alameda County Transportation Commission.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
And it's made of wood, but it's a pen. Very confusing. Isn't that supposed to be a pencil? I don't know. I think I'm going to have to tell you something. Stencil is something you use to do cool little designs. It's Mike Matthews, and I'm slightly behind on this lyric. I stop because I'm done. I have now a time.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
A time here that I must tell you here at Café Anyway, somewhere in Podcastro Valley, the last place on earth in
Mike's
the land of America.
Daily
Topica.
Podcast.
All the topicas we're going to get to.
Yeah!
I have a confession to make. I am now on TikTok. I have one video. It's 1 minute long, and it's of the beginning of the podcast I did recently called Review. And it's just a video of the audio, because I don't love myself that much. I'm not in love with myself. I'm not like so in love with my image like the big TikTok influencers are. They just love themselves so much. And we were so worried about people having a bad self-image. But now there's all this healthy self-image going on, healthy view of oneself all over the TikTok world and YouTube. People just sticking the camera right in their faces, or just the camera on themselves if maybe they put it on a stand. That looks a lot more professional, by the way. Don't hold the camera and talk to it, because it's going to be all shaky and very distracting. Don't. Put it on a stand. A tripod is what we used to call them, tripods. Hey, try podcasting. It's fun. No, I suggest everyone try podcasting, but try and make the quality of your podcast worthwhile. That's okay.
And here's today's podcast picture.
And Mike will still be jealous of you having millions and millions and millions and millions of subscribers more than Mike has, because I think I have one subscriber. Thank you to that one subscriber. You're awesome. The podcast picture is going to be another one from the fantastic trip I took recently when I was down in the Marina Del Rey area of Los Angeles, visiting my lovely lady friend's very cool cousin and his family. And then the cousin that she has that lives in Texas flew out to meet us with her cool daughter. And it was great. Oh, shout out to Mike Vargas. And that's the late great Basil the Boxer, who enjoyed documentaries. And hey, you know what? Mike Vargas makes documentaries. And he made a couple of them. And one of them I was watching. And in fact, you can find out more at his website called mikevargas.art. Yes, you don't have to have a .com anymore. It's .art. Or you can Google his name. Or in my case, I like to Bing names because I get points. That's wonderful. And actually, don't Bing him, because something else came up completely different from. Yeah, this isn't the one. That's not the Mike Vargas. Oh my gosh! And then Bing tries to get you into Copilot right away. That's their AI stuff. Used to be the ChatGPT thing. I think they just called it ChatGPT at one point. It's called New York City, I think is what he calls it. Gosh, Bing is awful. You know, I looked this up on Google the other day, and that's, I guess, what more people are going to be looking up stuff on. But that is not. Yes, New York-tricity is what it was. But you have to spell it NUYORKTRICTY. So it's NU York, then Tri-City. That's easy to remember, isn't it? Anyway, he's got Café Anyway, a bunch of cool. His wife is on there too, Moni. Yes, there is a David Bowie song called that.
Mike's Matthewsman Park.
The front panel will close automatically. Please remain seated at all times.
I am so sorry. I meant Billy Idol. How on earth did I confuse David Bowie with Billy Idol? But yes, he did a song called Moni Moni, which was written by Tommy James. That's right, Tommy James and the Shondells. Yes, was the... right? He wrote it? Let's say he wrote it. I'm pretty sure. Oh, it's credited to Tommy James, Bo Gentry, Richie Cordell, and Bobby Bloom. The song's title was inspired by Tommy James' view of the M-O-N-I-Y sign. Moni spells it with an I. Atop the Mutual of New York building on the New York City skyline. See, there's a lot of New York involved in this podcast today. From his Manhattan apartment. That's how that came about. And it was the only song... Well, it reached number 1 with Billy Idol, I know, but it was the live version that he did. It originally came out in 81, and that song just does not go away. When the song was performed live in concert or played at a club or dance, Billy Idol, people would shout a certain formulaic and usually obscene variation of a particular phrase in the 2 measures following each line. Ah, there you go. And the song he released before Moni Moni was "A Dancing with Myself."
Daily Haley. Almost Daily Haley.
That's right. We mentioned Haley here. Not Nikki Haley, but anybody named Haley. And I know someone who's a huge fan of that Haley lady from Paramore. So they went with the name Haley. They call themselves Haley now. So that's cool. Haley. And Daily Haley rhymes. So you're right. That's why we did that. Outside of Café Anyway, somewhere in Podcastro Valley, the last place on earth. So happy to bring you this podcast today. We're covering so many topics here in Ameritopica. And it was so fun to go down to see all the cool people that my lovely lady friend knows here at Café Anyway, somewhere in Podcastro Valley. But yes, he did a couple documentaries, and one of them pertaining to, well, 2 movies about 2 different people named Ruben. One of them was named Ruben Ortiz Torres. He is an artist. We're watching that one right now. He is a photographer, painter, multi-artist, all kinds of formats that he uses. And the other was about Ruben Funkahatl Guevara, who was in a band for a while that was produced...
The Marco Minute. The Marco Minute.
Not produced by anyone named Marco, no. But it was, he collaborated with Frank Zappa and Cheech Marin. He was in a bunch of the Cheech Marin movies and the Cheech and Chong movies. And just, he had an incredible connection to Chicano rock and roll, including the Los Lobos and the whole Chicano performance art world. And I took a Chicano art class in 1989, a while back. And maybe they didn't quite know that much about what is considered Chicano. It's progressed quite a bit over the years. It was Ruben and the Jets. That was the thing he did with Frank Zappa. But yes, it opened my eyes. I really didn't know anything about Chicano culture. And at UC Santa Barbara,
Mike's Out of Left Field recordings.
Recording everything captures actions that will never again be repeated.
In a very small class, it was an out of left field recording that actually what I did, I should have recorded the class. I didn't have a tape recorder with me at the time. but it was a great class to experience. And though she was not a Chicano artist in the artist community, she was somewhat emulated in the culture, in the Chicano culture. I'm talking Frida Kahlo, and I'm watching another documentary about her that Ron Howard, of all people, put together. Ron Howard of Happy Days and the narrator of Arrested Development. It's going through her writings and showing all her illustrations. That's very interesting. But Mike Vargas, in his documentaries, likes to use a type of animation very sparingly, but it worked really well. So I'll have to try and have him on the show sometime. But check out those websites of his stuff and find out about those interesting artists, both named Ruben, and both having a lot to do with the culture of Los Angeles, where I was and where the podcast picture came from today. See the podcast picture at mikesdailypodcast.com. Now, I don't know if you go to movie theaters to see documentaries, but maybe you'll go see the Olympics there, because AMC is going to show the 2024 Olympics in movie theaters. So there was all this talk during COVID that they were all going to go out of business. Well, the 2024, they're Paris Olympics. These Olympic Games, that's what they always say. Somebody ends up saying these Olympic Games. It's a phrase that gets said often during an Olympic year. But 2024 is an Olympic year, and those games will be played in Paris. And NBC and AMC will broadcast select daytime Paris Olympics coverage at
The Word of Dog.
160 AMC locations across the country. Aw, Basil saying movie theaters are cool because a lot of popcorn falls on the floor and he can eat them. He loved popcorn. You could just throw it in the air anywhere in the room and he could catch it in midair. It's amazing talent he had. The opportunity to cheer for Team USA or their own hometown hero, that's going to happen. You can also expect more non-Hollywood movies. Movie theaters succeeded with alternative programming last year. In specific, Taylor Swift, her Eras Tour film, was shown at nearly 261 million, or actually made $261 million globally, and was shown in theaters. She gave them directly to the movie theaters, didn't go through any distributor. And I think now Disney Plus is showing the Eras Tour film on their streaming platform. So she must have made a nice deal with them. $261 million globally. And then Renaissance, a film by Beyonce, that brought in $43 million, almost $44 million worldwide. Movie theaters are the next great frontier for live sporting events. ESPN is enlarging college football presence to 75 games in movie theaters, as well as the 3-game college football playoff, WWE Wrestling.
And now we return you to our regularly scheduled program with Mike Matthews.
Hi, I'm Mike Matthews. The wrestling with the WWE, they got big events now that are making into that are going to be shown in theaters, and the Metropolitan Opera is offering an incredible opportunity to experience opera in movie theaters. Live opera transmissions. Oh, my mom would have loved that. Special interviews, behind the scenes features, and that's going to all be happening at movie theaters. Foreign movies like Godzilla in Japanese and anime television shows and movies will also be shown in theaters directly. So all these uses being found for the movie theaters that are still surviving. Award shows like the Oscars, video gaming award shows, video games like 50 people playing Minecraft all at once, all of that will end up in movie theaters soon, if they haven't already. College is still worth it, though, for some people. The rising cost of college and ballooning student loan balances, yes, thank you, I said that perfectly, have played a large role in changing views about college. Recent college, and not to mention all the controversy that happened over the Israel-Palestine-Hamas war, and all of the things that were done on campuses that got a lot of scrutiny from Congress. Recent college graduates working full-time earn $24,000 more a year than those with just a high school diploma. College degrees earn a median of $2.8 million over their lifetime, or 75% more than high school degrees, and their median $1.6 million. Engineering and computer science majors provide the highest returns, followed by business, health, math.
We love you, Mike.
Thank you. And science majors. Don't get the communications degree. Unless it's what you really love to do, is communicate. But engineering and computer science majors, those are the highest returning. They get the highest returns. Students who major in liberal arts, performing arts, and theology earn the lowest salaries. Wah, wah. All three majors made a median annual income of $38,000. Other low-paying majors include leisure and hospitality. Are those still majors? History, fine arts, and psychology. Psychology, really? That does not... What? No, that can't be true. Because I'll tell you...
You will travel into the incredible universe.
My lovely lady friend... Don't laugh at me. Is so busy these days. So she's a therapist. Well, but those degrees I just mentioned, they make $40,000 or less per year. Hospitality, history, fine arts, psychology. Teachers or early childhood education majors, woo! They earn roughly $48,000 a year. So that is what you get with a college degree, what you can make. And then, of course, you've got Biden forgiving some of the debt that is being incurred by people going to school, getting the college degrees. Instagram is beating TikTok. Oh, yeah, Mike, why are you on TikTok? You might be asking, well, I found out that TikTok, and I had always said this, if TikTok started a web-based version of itself, so I don't have to download it onto my phone, I would use it. Kombucha! And now they do. So I'm at Mike's Daily Podcast on TikTok and Instagram. But I don't have much on TikTok yet, just one post. But I have thousands and thousands of podcast pictures on Instagram. So Instagram is beating TikTok. They have 767 million downloads. That outpaced TikTok. Magnification. Not too far behind with 733 million downloads last year. TikTok wins in average time spent at 95 minutes a day. And Netflix is jumping back into the NFL with Receiver Series to follow 5 NFL players, including someone named Justin Jefferson and others that I don't know, so I won't say their names. So they're going to follow some NFL players. I got all that from Rob Black. He writes these things down, and I find it fascinating. Sometimes he'll miss a word here and there, but he's writing this down really quickly because he's on TV with this stuff. And you can see him on Cron TV Monday through Thursday in the 9 o'clock hour. He's also on the radio. You can listen to him on AM 1220 KDOW at the 6 a.m. hour, 8 a.m. hour. And I produce this podcast, which is uploaded, the Rob Black Show podcast. You can find that just about anywhere. He says one other interesting thing.
Fascinating Material Project.
And this is fascinating. The jelly beans are America's favorite Easter candy. One candy maker seems determined to wreck all of jelly beans' goodwill. Frankfurt Candy has teamed up with the ketchup people, Kraft Heinz, to unveil pickle-flavored jelly beans. It's ruining shelves near you this spring. Oh, and Rob also says that if you need your cosmetics, and to me, all cosmetics are called makeup, even though I know there's some, things other than makeup. But mascara. Makeup and cosmetics work, but the mascara is something. I don't know. when I did a Shakespeare play back in college, that's the only time I got to put makeup on. Or someone put makeup on me. I had no idea how to put it on. So kudos to all of you who've mastered the art. But DoorDash has expanded its delivery portfolio to include cosmetic brands. Sally Beauty. Oh, I've been in one of those. Bored out of my mind. I was there with the ex-wife. And MAC Cosmetics. Oh, some of you love MAC. I know that for sure. Big Mac. Guys are into Big Macs.
Hey, kids.
Women like the Mac.
It's me. Do-Re-Mi the Clown.
Return of the Mac. Return of the Mac. What was that? Mark Morrison? In addition to expanding its current relationship with Sephora. Oh, yeah. I know a lot of people that love Sephora. Return of the Mac was by Mark Morrison. Ding, 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 ding. Oh, I do have a ding, ding, ding. Hang on. Okay, found that. It barely works, but okay. It's a fun song. DoorDash delivers alcohol, groceries, pet food, convenience store items, and more. Fascinating. Outside of Café Anyway, somewhere in Podcaster Valley, look who's here. Hello, Mega Master, it's Madame Rootabega, and I love all these things you are talking about, all the different topics. Ooh. Do you like mascara? Yes. Do you like the song Return of the Mac? Yes. Do you like Informer? No. Oh, man. Informer. You maybe could decipher the lyrics. Then you're really good.
The cutting corners corner.
Oh. Corner. The cutting corners corner. Here's a great idea for cutting corners. Come to Café Anyway and talk to these guys and you won't ever be bored. That cuts corners.
Hello there, Mike. This is Valentino, the parking attendant.
And this is Bison Bentley. Do you know that?
Mike, we love all these 90s song references you're making on today's show, D.
Yeah, today's show. Do you know that? Here comes the hot step bird. Da 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 da. Yeah, some fun songs from that time period.
A fine article.
You silly, great, fat article.
Hey, so we'll see what happens. I don't want TikTok on my phone, but the fact that it can be accessed through a website, which is what I do with Instagram as well. So, speaking of universities and going to college and that kind of thing, U.S. states with the highest university enrollment. Let's see. We'll start at the top three. Here we go. At number 3 is Alaska, with only 2.39% of the population who enrolled in the university in 2023. Utah. Oh, I did that all wrong. Okay, this wasn't the top 3. That's all random numbers. So Utah takes the top spot with 6.83% of its population enrolled in university. They're at the top. Wow. And then California is 5th in the U.S. with 5.41% of its population who enrolled in university in 2023. You know, I guess I miss UC Santa Barbara. That school really gets into your skin and it's tough to leave it. And then years later, I found out, Toad the Wet Sprocket, they performed on campus. I actually saw them perform once before their big song, All I Want Is to Feel This Way, another 90s song. And Glenn Phillips is an amazing artist. He'd done a lot of solo stuff that was good. Personal
ginormous.
Finance experts Wealth of Geeks analyzed data from the National Student Clearinghouse on the number of undergraduates across the U.S. who started a degree in 2023 to determine which states had the highest university enrollment. The research also revealed whether states' university enrollment has increased or decreased since 2023. Interesting about Idaho, they came in number 2 with 5.78% of the state's population enrolled in an undergraduate degree.
Magnification.
The figure is 2.4% higher than the previous year. The state has 15 colleges and universities and a total population of 1.9 million. I know a lot of people from the high school I went to in Oxnard ended up going there. And 3-time Olympic gold medalist Kristen Armstrong gained a degree in sports physiology at the University of Idaho. The top major at that university, by the way, is psychology. So don't talk bad about psychology to me. There you go. Back to the Olympics again. And back to California again. So we mentioned 5.41% of citizens of California went to university in 2023. There are 281 universities and colleges, including Stanford in California, where the top major is computer science. The prestigious university educated golf sensation Tiger Woods, as well as many other successful people. And they have a radio station. I think it's like Zoo, or what is it? Oh, what's Stanford University's radio? Anyway, Café Anyway, they have a wonderful radio station that has a lot of songs on it that I gravitate. KZSU is what it is. Not the most memorable, but, and then nobody could come in during lockdown, so they just had a playlist that played, and there was some good stuff on there. I listened to it. Out of the total population of 39 million, oh, there's Nilly stopping by. 2,113,108 people in California started an undergraduate degree at the start of the academic year, which is a 3.1% increase from the previous year. All of that information came from the wonderful people here at the place called Journer Research. It's like journalism, nor Journ or research. Oh, I see. All these people using bizarre web addresses. journorresearch.org is where that came from. There's just not enough. People are running out of website addresses. So instead of .org and .com, it's .art. I know there's .radio. You'll start to see more of those. There isn't a .podcast yet, which I was surprised to see, but I'm sure that will come about at some point. Okay, we got to a lot of things, and I hope you enjoyed those things. If not, my name is Joe Rogan. And next show, it'll be the wonderful Chely Shoehart, Floyd the Floorman, John Deere the engineer, and the brewmaster may pop by. Who knows? He just quietly poured me a root beer. Thank you. And if you'd like to call in and comment about anything we covered today in the segment, your emails from email and your not so comments, here's the phone number.
Call Mike at the Café Anyway hotline. Area code 510-228-4640.
Oh, I was talking about that squeeze box device, and that we were listening to Gwen Stefani because my lovely lady friend, we've got this squeeze box device. So all these, we got 3 of them in the house, and they all play stuff off this one laptop that belongs to my lovely lady friend. And she's got quite the music selection on it. We've been listening to it, and lots of Gwen Stefani. Lots of Gwen Stefani. And did I hear Dave Matthews Band? There was some other bands from the O's that were pretty good. And Michael Jackson's greatest hits. And Janet Jackson's greatest hits. So we've been listening to that. And thank you for listening to this. And with more ways to reach me, it's A-Frame.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com.
Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com.
See you tomorrow. Bye!